GoHighLevel just launched a brand new events feature, and I think it's the biggest thing they've shipped all year. I set up a new event in about 20 minutes with 3 ticket tiers, a working coupon code, a full schedule with speakers, a custom question on the checkout, and automated text messages that fire the second somebody buys. And I'm gonna walk you through all of it step by step. Then at the end, I'll show you how to turn this one feature into a $500 a month service you can sell to businesses in your city. Now, real quick, here's why you should care what I think about this. I've been running my own social media marketing agency for years now, and over the last 12 months, our clients have paid us a little over $5 million. And I'm not gonna just say that and move on. Let me pull up my payment processor and refresh it live so you can see it yourself. There it is. Just over $5 million in the last 12 months from around 350 active clients, paying us about $1,000 a month each. I show this in every single video because there are way too many people teaching business on YouTube who've never shown a real number in their life. All right, let's start at the very beginning. Chapter 1. What this feature actually is and why it matters. So here's the short version. Events lets you create an event, sell tickets, build the registration page, send reminders, and check people in at the door, all inside GoHighLevel. And before this existed, running one event meant stitching a bunch of tools together. A ticketing platform, a landing page builder, an email tool, and your CRM, all connected to each other, all charging their own monthly fee, and the ticketing platform taking a cut of every ticket on top. But this changes everything because now you have one system that you can use to manage your events. Now, events is still in beta right now, which means it's hidden inside Labs. So from your sub account, you go down to settings, then over to Labs. And Labs is just where HighLevel puts the new stuff before it rolls out to everybody. I'll search for events up in the corner, and there it is. The card says build and manage events with integrated registration, ticketing, and check-in. I flip that toggle on, and that's it. Now I go back to my main menu, click memberships, and up in that top row, you'll see a new tab called events with a beta badge on it. Click that. Then you land on this intro page. It runs through the highlights like embedding your event into any funnel or website with one snippet. But the line that matters most is the last one. Every sign up becomes a contact that's tagged and ready for any workflow. That's the whole reason this feature is different, and I'll come back to it. And real quick, if you want to follow along and build this out with me, consider using my link down in the description. It gets you an extended 30-day free trial plus some special bonuses. But more on that later. So now let's actually build something real. Chapter 2, building my own event. I'm calling it AI Agency Live Atlanta. One day in person at Ponce City Market on October 16th. And I want to be upfront, this is a demo build, but I'm setting it up exactly the way I'd set up a real one. I hit create your event, and the first thing it asks is what type. Ticketed, where you sell tickets with multiple pricing tiers. Or RSVP, which is a free event where guests just confirm they're coming. Pay attention here because you can't switch between those two later. Pick the wrong one and you're rebuilding the event. I'm going to select ticketed. Next screen is the basics. I type in the event name and watch the preview on the right side. It's updating as I type, and that preview stays with you through the whole build. You can flip it between desktop and mobile anytime. I upload my cover image and it asks me to pick a focus point so the image stays centered on whatever screen somebody opens it on. Then a short summary, then the full description. And slow down on that description because it shows up word for word on the public page and it's doing the selling for you. Write it about what people walk away with, not the agenda. Then dates and times, October 16th, 9 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. Now the location in this part's smooth. I start typing Ponce City Market and it pulls up Google's address list. I pick the right one and it fills in the venue name, the street address, the city, the state, and the zip code all by itself. And it drops a live map onto the page. Last step is organizer info. My name, my photo, my email. I hit create event and it's built. Now look at this. It drops me on an overview screen with a checklist that says finish setting up your event, and it's tracking me at 1 out of 7. It's telling you exactly what to do next in order. So let's do tickets. And I'm building 3 tiers. First one is early bird at $97 and I'm capping it at $50. I set the sale to end September 15th, so the price actually goes up on its own without me touching anything. And down in advanced settings, I add a short description that says save $100, early bird pricing ends September 15th. I save it and look at the card it makes. Early bird on sale, $97, sold 0 of 50. That's clean. Second tier, general admission at $197, quantity 100. Now for the third one, I want to show you something that I think is the most underrated part of this whole feature. When I click add ticket type, it gives me two choices: create new or reuse from another event. I click reuse from another event, pick the event I'm pulling from, and it shows me every ticket on it with the prices and quantities. I check the VIP ticket and it drops that ticket straight into the form already filled in with the name, the price, and the quantity. So I'm not rebuilding pricing tiers from scratch every time. And hold on to that because it shows up again in a second. I finished that one off. VIP plus mastermind dinner, $497, 20 seats, and I add a description that says special VIP ticket, get dinner with Sean. 3 tiers, done. Right under tickets, there's a tab for coupon codes. I create one called YouTube discount 20, and for the code itself, I type YT20. You can also just hit generate and let it make one for you. It's set to a percentage coupon, 20% off, and I can pick exactly which tickets it applies to. There's also a box to cap how many times it can be redeemed, and another one to limit it to once per customer. Now, let's build the agenda. Chapter 3, the event schedule. So I go to schedule, and same thing here. Add schedule gives me create new or reuse from another event, and the speakers tab has that same menu too. I'll build this one fresh. First session, Sean opening keynote 9 to 10 in the morning on the main stage. And here's a small thing I appreciate. When I fumbled the end time and set it past 5 o'clock, it stopped me and said the session must end at or before the event end time. So you can't accidentally publish a schedule that runs past your own event. Then I add a description, and down at the bottom of that same window, there's a speaker section. So I click add speaker right there without leaving the page. I upload my photo, type my name, tick the box for set as keynote, add a bio, and drop in links for my website and my Instagram. Quick heads up, it rejected my links the first time and said enter a title and a valid URL for each one. You have to put the full HTTPS in front of it. Second session, AI Agency Workshop number 1, 10 to 11 in room 1. And now that a speaker exists, I just search and attach them from a dropdown instead of retyping anything. Now let's make it look like your brand. Chapter 4, the page design. This is under pages and design, and up top it tells you the important part. Style changes apply to all 3 pages. That's your event page, your schedule page, and your checkout. There's a rail on the left with 4 panels. The first one is page sections, and you can drag these to reorder them or toggle them off completely. And there's an optional one you can add at the bottom, frequently asked questions. I add that, and the preview instantly grows an FAQ block. I type in what time does the event start, and the answer, doors open at 8 a.m. First keynote session starts at 9 a.m. sharp. Second panel is page text, and this one's better than it looks. Every button label on the public page is editable. The Get Tickets button, the Select button on each ticket, the Get Directions link, even the in-person badge. So if a client wants it to say claim my seat instead of get tickets, that's one field. Third panel is style. One color swatch sets the button color, the link color, and the accent color across the whole page. I switch it to black and every button turns black. I switch it to dark red and they all follow. Fourth panel is custom CSS if you want to go further. Then there's the checkout tab, and this is the part I pay attention to if you're doing this for lead generation. First name, last name, and email are locked in as required. You can't remove those. But underneath, there's add fields, and you get phone, address, city, state, country, and postal code ready to go, plus create custom fields. So I add phone, and then I make a custom field, and I ask, why are you attending this event, and what do you hope to learn? Think about what that actually gives you. Every person who buys a ticket is now telling you in their own words what they want. That's not a ticket sale anymore. That's a qualified lead who just handed you their sales script. And one more thing on this screen, there's a button up in the corner that says copy from another event. Same idea as the tickets and the speakers. Build your design once, reuse it. By the way, that reuse button is exactly why this works as an agency service, and GoHighLevel is the platform I use to run my entire agency and all of my clients. So if you haven't tried it yet, you can use my link down in the description. And when you sign up with my link, you also get access to my community with over 100 video lessons, an AI prompt library, and a bunch of other bonuses completely free. All right, so now let's go see what the customer actually sees. I hit preview and there's the live page, the hero image, the in-person badge, the event name, hosted by me with my photo, the venue, and the date. Scroll down and everything we just built is sitting right there. The tickets, the schedule, the speakers, the map, the FAQ, and up in the corner there's a sticky card that says from $97 get tickets. So let me actually buy a ticket. I hit select on general admission and it opens a clean checkout. I can bump quantities up and down on any tier and the order summary updates live. Next screen is billing information, and there's my custom question sitting right there. I fill it out, check the consent box, and continue. And then I hit a wall. Payment error, no payment provider found. I'm leaving that in on purpose because this is the mistake you're going to make. This is a demo account and I never connected a payment processor to it. Remember that checklist that said connect a payment provider is required before attendees can complete a purchase. That wasn't a suggestion. So before you sell a single ticket, go connect Stripe. Otherwise, you'll build this whole beautiful page and nobody can pay you. All right, so now let me show you the part that actually separates this from every other ticketing platform. Chapter 5, the automations. Let's go look at that registration I just made. Over in the registrations tab, there it is. Sean testing, 1 ticket, general admission. But the status says pending and the revenue says $0. That's because of one setting. Under settings, then payments, there's a toggle called live mode. And it says when it's on, this event accepts real registrations and payments. And when it's off, you're in test mode. Mine was off. So I flip it on and save. While I'm in settings, there's a few things in here worth knowing. QR code check-in is on by default and it's required for in-person events. And there's a setting for which payment statuses are allowed to check in at the door, which is set to succeeded. So somebody with a failed payment can't walk in. There's also one called collect details for each attendee. When that's on, every seat on a multi-ticket order gets its own name, its own email, and its own ticket. So if somebody buys 4 tickets, you get 4 leads instead of 1. Under notifications, all the emails are already built. Registration confirmation goes out immediately. A reminder goes out 3 days before. Event update notifications fire anytime you change the details. And a post-event follow-up with a feedback survey goes out after it ends. Plus, you get a new registration alert and a daily summary with registrations, cancellations, and revenue. And don't sleep on that reminder because it's the difference between people buying tickets and people actually showing up. Life gets busy and people forget, and that message is what pulls them back in the door. But here's the part I actually want you to see. I'm going into automation, workflows, create workflow, start from scratch. And when I go to add a trigger, look at what's sitting right there at the top. Event registration and event checked in. Those are native triggers now. Not a Zapier connection, not a webhook you have to maintain. They're just in the list. I pick event registration and it tells me it fires when a contact registers or checks out for an event. 1 message per attendee, primary +1 per guest. Then there's a filter for registration status and I can pick succeeded or pending or canceled. So I set it to succeeded and I add an SMS underneath it. Hey, first name, congrats on registering for our upcoming AI agency blueprint event. I can't wait to see you. Before you arrive, here are a few things to know. That text now goes out automatically to every single person who buys a ticket, forever. And once you see that trigger list, the ideas stack up fast. Set the status to pending and you've got an abandoned cart sequence, texting the people who started checkout and never finished. Use event checked in and you can fire a thank you the second somebody walks through the door or drop a tag on everybody who actually showed up so you can market to them differently than the no-shows. Add a wait step and send a replay link or an offer the morning after. So let's talk about how you actually get paid for this. Chapter 6, and there's a few different ways to play it. The first one is just running your own events. That's what I'm doing here. 3 tiers, 70 seats, and everybody who buys is a warm lead for everything else I sell. If you teach anything, coach anything, or sell anything local, you can run a paid workshop off this page. The second one is the one I build a service around, and it's selling event setup to other businesses. You can charge a flat $500 a month to run 1 event a month for a client end to end. The branded page, the ticket tiers, the coupon codes, the confirmation and reminder emails, the QR check-in, and the clean contact list handed back to them afterward. Be realistic about the time though. Your first event for a client is going to take you 2 to 3 hours. But after that, with the reuse buttons on tickets, speakers, schedules, and page design, you're looking at 30 to 45 minutes an event. That's the whole business model right there. And if you're already running social media for clients, this stacks right on top of that retainer. Every event hands you a month of content, a teaser post, a countdown, behind the scenes on event day, and a recap after. So now your retainer is tied to something that makes them real money, and that makes you a lot harder to cancel. The third one is the one most people miss, events as a lead machine. Most local businesses will never sell a $97 ticket, but every one of them wants a room full of buyers. So you run a free RSVP event instead. It costs the customer nothing and it puts a name, an email, and a phone number in the CRM for every person who walks in the door. And here's where it gets interesting because some of the best use cases aren't obvious. Real estate is the strongest one on my list. Every agent in America is still running open houses with a paper sign and sheet on a clipboard and then typing those names into a spreadsheet on Sunday night. Free RSVP event QR ticket, scan them at the door on your phone, and every visitor is a CRM contact sitting inside a nurture workflow before they've pulled out of the driveway. Restaurants and bars are the easiest thing to sell over and over. Wine tastings, chef's table dinners, trivia nights, holiday parties. They run one of these every month, and right now most of them are handling it in Instagram, DMs, and a notes app. Event venues are a good one too, because what a venue actually wants is a full booking calendar. So you run them a monthly open house tour or a bridal showcase. Free RSVP, check in at the door, and every person who walks through is somebody planning an event who's now in their CRM. Retail pop-ups and product drops work with paid early access. $20 to get in an hour before the doors open, and it comes off their purchase. You create the line and you own the buyer list afterward. And med spas and salons do VIP shopping nights and new service launches where the ticket price is really just a deposit that kills no shows.